Hello, welcome to this episode of The Tracking Archer. It seems the videos that I upload, people are least interested in me and what I'm doing, and most interested about my deer rifle. So, why not a video on an old Savage 99 featherweight? My particular 99 is a 99F, which stands for featherweight, has a thin barrel, and is very lightweight, extremely well balanced. I love this deer rifle for carrying right here around the receiver. Cradles perfectly for me, balances, nice rounded bottom on it. Love this rifle for hunting the woods of Maine. Now, this one here is of 1950s vintage, later 50s, I believe. It is the Tang safety version, which I actually prefer. Some guys like it down here. I am very used to this because I have a Browning shotgun with a Tang safety as well. So this Tang safety is natural for me. It also has the brass counter on it. Now, some people get all bent out of shape and up excited about this thing. I think it's a really neat old design. It adds to the gun, but it's not very practical for my use. I try not to rely on it because, in truth, it's a bit deceiving. All right, so if you have one of these guns, do not rely on this too much. Remember that this number on this brass counter that rotates, let me open this up a minute, the more rounds you put in there, the more or the higher this number goes. So I don't know if you can see that moving, but it goes from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 up to 5. And what that tells you is how many rounds you have in the magazine. Now, the problem with that is it does not give a true indication of how many rounds are in the gun, because this gun can hold 6 rounds, 5 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. So if you happen to look at that counter and say, oh, 0, there's nothing in it, gun safety, check your chamber first, because chances are you may still have a round in there and it is not safe. But it's a cool thing nonetheless. I don't rely on it, but it's very interesting old design. And I have mine set up with a Leupold 1-5. This is my first year having a scope on this rifle. I'm not 100% certain that I'll keep it, but we're gonna give it a good whirl. However, I don't like relying entirely on a scope, especially for a deer tracking rifle, because when we're hiking through the woods, I find myself in some nasty holes of swamps and spruce thickets, and boy, you get snow and ice packed in these lenses. It's pointless. It's of no use. And so I have this old Weaver flip the side mount where the scope kicks off to the side, and I now have access to the iron sights right over top of the scope mounts. So kind of a neat old thing, and we're gonna give it a whirl this year. I failed to mention this rifle is chambered for .308 Winchester. Not as popular with the collectors, I understand, but I, for one, like being able to find ammo for it. I'm not complaining. Eyes and ears, wow. It's drizzling out here today, whether or not you can tell on video. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to forego the safety glasses today. For ammo, I'm shooting Federal Fusion 165 grains. Really good bullet for not a terrible price, and pretty accurate in my experience. It's the next day. Yesterday, I shot the Federal Fusions. I will spare you the details. It was miserable. It's kind of baffling to me because I've shot those rounds before and they seem to shoot decent. I wasn't thrilled with their performance, but they seem to shoot pretty decently in my rifle. And so I had them and I thought, well, I'll just go double, triple check before season. And boy, I was disappointed. So I grabbed a couple different boxes of ammo today and came back out here, and I sighted in, I'm just here at about, 30, 35 yards or so. And I wanted to make sure that I was pretty close before I backed out to 100. This is the peep sight These two were the first shots I adjusted, so I'm about right here. I'm going to back out to 100 and see how much more variation that shows. But boy, with the scope, you can't argue with that. Pardon the lighting, I know it's terrible, but we're gonna try at 100 yards now with the Federal PowerShock 150 grains. A Savage 99 featherweight, chambered in 308. Call me a wuss if you want, but I put 40 rounds through this gun, and if you've ever shot a 308 and a featherweight rifle, you know it can pack a little bit of a punch. So my shoulder is sore from yesterday, so I'm gonna put a little extra padding there. Not too much, but something. Pretty well dead center, left to right, and about maybe 2 to 2.5 inches high. Okay. Made some adjustments on this scope here. By the way, not a big fan of these custom dial systems on such a puny scope. Like we're ever gonna use this thing in the deer woods. Now watch, I'll get a 300-yard shot at a buck this year or something stupid, you know, but I mean, it's a 1 to 5 power, for crying out loud. It's not, you know, a 3 to 9 or a 4 to 12 or anything like that. It's a lightweight rifle. I wish I had a regular turret cap on there. It's kind of a pain, to be honest. Oh, I like it. Brought us right down in near the bull. Throw another one in there. See what we can get for a 3-shot group. But it's gonna hurt, man. Yeah, no, shut up and be a man. Oh, wow, that shoulder is tender. Boy, that's right in there with it. I like it. Barrel's a little warm, but why not? I knew this gun could shoot. Hey, come on, glasses. Those fusions had me all frazzled yesterday. Oh, yes, sir. Let's take a walk. I gotta show you something. Three-shot group, Federal PowerShocks. Looking at 1 inch, maybe 7/8 deer twacks. That's what we like to see when we are out shooting our rifles. Must be very, very quiet. I'm all curious to see what these core locks will do. Figured something out with my scope. I cannot believe that. Got my rifle shooting extremely well. This is the 150 grain Federal PowerShock, and the lower target is the 150 grain Remington core locked 308 ammo. Both of them out of a 70-some-year-old rifle, a design that's over 100 years old. I'm not complaining. Very satisfied, very happy with this old rifle. Savage 99 F featherweight, my deer rifle of choice for the North Woods of Maine. Hey, if you want to see deer hunting content, subscribe, share, like, do all your YouTube duties. You know what to do. And Lord willing, we'll bring you some deer tracking content this deer season. Thank you for watching. God bless, and happy hunting to you.